Hi everyone, welcome back to Tom and Julie's podcast. Hope you guys are doing great this week. Just going to continue along. I've been talking a little bit about what Jesus taught about prayer in the Sermon on the Mount. That's Matthew 5, 6, and 7. So just to kind of give a quick review, I've talked about the importance of relating to God as your Father and not as a vending machine. We've talked about the importance of getting into the secret place and having that personal and private life of prayer in addition to your public life in prayer. Last week we talked a little bit, or not last week, I guess that was 2 weeks ago now. We talked a little bit about Jesus is, getting ready to give his disciples sort of the model prayer, but he wanted to emphasize beforehand that it was really just about the relating aspect of it, not so much about having the perfect words to pray. So I just wanted to take that that stigma off of it, of just having the right words, and if you say them a certain number of times, you'll get what you want, that kind of thing. We wanted to put it squarely back into relating land again. And so now we're going to continue on. Jesus is here, we're at Matthew 6, verse 9 now. We're actually getting into the Lord's Prayer, is how it's commonly known. And, again, this is not necessarily just like, here, pray these exact words. If you pray them 10 times, you'll get a blessing tomorrow, or, that kind of thing, which I'm sure you guys all know that already. But it's kind of like Jesus, though, teaching what he believed was important topics for prayer. And so it's really good to study this prayer, not just memorize it in Sunday school, that's good too, but to study it for like, what were these topics that Jesus said were so important to actually hit in prayer on a regular basis, and make sure that you visit those topics on a regular basis as you relate to the Lord. So starting with verse 9, he says, "Pray then in this way, our Father who is in heaven." Again, I'm going to stop. Jesus emphasizing again, coming before God as your Father, and emphasizing that relational aspect of prayer. So it's not just, "Oh Lord," but like it's actually about relating to your Father in heaven. So I know I've beaten that one to death, so I'll leave it there. But you guys can go back and listen to those again if you want to hear more. But our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. That's verse 9. So hallowed be your name. Hallowed's kind of a funny word. I actually looked it up because I'm like, gosh, I've said that word like 100 times, but only in this one context. Like, I don't know that I've ever heard the word hallowed in any other context except for this. So I actually looked it up. It just means worthy of reverence or respect, worthy of veneration or reverence and respect. So it's basically a statement. Jesus says, come to your Father and tell him, "Father, you are so worthy of all of my respect, of all of my reverence, all of my worship." It's just a statement of worship. And so Jesus is saying, basically, along with the psalmist, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Or in other words, if you want to enter the presence of the Lord, just come with worship. Come with the heart of worship. And it's not necessarily, coming with the intention of musical worship or singing, though I think that's great, definitely. But he's saying, come with those statements of just pure and simple devotion to your Father. Just start there. Just start relating to him. Start with worship. And so that's vitally important. A lot of times, we want to get down to business, and it's like, okay, Lord, I got these needs. I need you to meet these 5 needs. This is my prayer list for the day. But it's like, he's the whole point and purpose of our life on this earth is to worship him, pure and simple. I mean, that's the one thing we'll be doing for eternity, is just adoring him and worshiping him. And, even after all the work is done, we'll still be worshipers. So this is really the purpose of your whole life, is to worship. So the work and the requests and the problems, those things are all going to fade away, but Jesus is still going to be worthy. Your Father is still going to be worthy. So in your prayer times this week, take a few minutes at the beginning if you don't already, or even if you do, just take a little longer this week and really focus in on your Heavenly Father and just give him those phrases of adoration. Just take some time with it, slow it down. Don't be in a hurry and just say, Father, you are so worthy. You're just so worthy of all of my reverence. You're so worthy of all of my respect. You're so worthy of all of my affection and devotion. So give the Lord those statements at the beginning of your prayer time. See how it changes your prayer time, because it'll change your heart as you do that. You'll find yourself falling in love with God more. So that's my encouragement for you this week. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful week.